So what are the skills that are needed? I'm going to kind of go through this because you told me I only have 20 minutes. But one of the key things is constructive depolarization. What does that mean? In plain English, it means we're in an environment as a leader now where there's a lot of divisiveness. So you have to have the ability and the skills to diffuse this divisiveness. And I mean, it's on both ends of the spectrum. It's in our society, it's in our companies. So the leaders are going to have to be able to bring people together and be able to do that with constructive agreement on both sides. So we have to really sharpen up those skills. Liquid leadership. I was just talking to a leader the other day, and they were concerned about their remote areas. They have 200 different remote areas, and how do I deal with that? Well, the new leadership literacy today is the being present when you're not, and some of the things that you'll need to do. How many of you are using social media right now as a form of communication? All right, so that's one way, right? Social media is a tool. And there's other things that you can do. There are platform companies out there, right, that can manage thousands of people without even having any interaction. So those are the things that we're going to have to develop as leaders as we move forward here. An immersive learning ability. And this is something that causes you to really just be able to bring in all types of different knowledge and abilities and to be able to connect that information and be able to do it from a first person, and that's really important. Oftentimes when we led from the center, we listen to other people, we listen to other information, we weren't getting it first person. One of the things I like about your organization here is when Rotary goes out to help and to do the great works that you're doing it first person. You're traveling to these places. You get to hear what's going on. I heard a gentleman say he wants to be part of Engineering Without Borders. It's a great organization. When I did some development work over in Africa, you're right on the front lines, and when you see this first person thing, it does something to you, right? If you're human and awake, it does something to you when you're out there. And then the last point here is bioempathy and positive energy. Now, bioempathy is going to probably sound like a little woo-woo here, but bioempathy is really learning from nature. And one of the things that we've gotten away from is this disconnection of nature and our lives and the way that we live. We're disconnected. And when I talked about the volatility, not only are we volatile towards each other, our weather, our nature is becoming violent. And so there's a disconnect, there's an imbalance there. So the leaders, one of the leadership literacies there is really understanding this connection, both with yourself and how you're connected with the environment in which we live in, but also how do we do that as a team, as an organization? That's a real situation here. And if you don't believe me, the scientists just sent out, I think it was 2 days ago, they sent out a 10-year warning, right? That we need to either get our act together or we're going to have even more disrupted weather if we don't get the temperature of the planet down. And positive energy. You have to have the energy now. I mean, we're moving, doing so many different things right now that it's really taking a lot of time and energy. So what's a shape-shifting organization? That's another thing that we are currently experiencing in our organization, that we can shape according to the client and what the client needs. And so that means that your organization is going to be shifting. It's going to need the flexibility. So this hierarchy that we've been used and accustomed to is not going to be the structure that's going to enable you to be competitive in the future.